Alright, this is F-Zero. And we're going back to story, I guess. Yeah, I was the last one playing this, and we were playing it on that spaghetti course.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
awful, and...
Oh my god. Now I gotta do it.
Hey, I almost made it last time. Like,
Yeah.
we got close.
Bomb is speed sensitive.
Oh...
Doesn't matter how fast I go as long as I get to the end. At least that's true. You don't have to beat somebody while you're doing it.
Surprised you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if the next mission you have to do the same thing while playing against Black Shadow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, oh, we got far here.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened last time, too. Wow, start racing anytime.
Make Rocket go now.
Yeah, I want to race now. This game will be so much better with the Eurobeat soundtrack.
Well, tell Nintendo that. Maybe they'll work it into the new F-Zero game. Who knows? If you're nice. If we're all really nice, it
Maybe
might...
they'll work it into Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, oh,
Damn.
Look at that white hot thruster on the back of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's some serious exhaust velocity. Look at it. It's
Yeah.
just perfectly white like a star. What's powering that?
These
What-
raindrops should just be pelting the metal and denting it. Oh,
What,
I brought that up, I think.
What like, what fuel is in these things? Like, what?
Yeah.
Do you go to a gas station and just get her filled up? What does it run on? Antimatter?
Oh, shoot. Man.
And it somehow mitigates the effect of explosions when you crash to a safe level. Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work.
Yeah. Ah, damn.
It's probably hydrogen.
Could be.
It's a hydrogen fusion rocket on the back of this car.
Yeah.
Just like the sun. It's like a little star behind it. Literally.
Well, they explode the moment they collide with anything, so... Or the moment they're, I guess they have a, some kind of cyber shield.
Yeah.
Represented by that bar.
It must have a really big magnet in it, so that
Damn.
it has an electrical field set up around it that's so powerful it can actually repel objects. Kind of like how the Earth has a magnetic field that repels particles.
Yeah.
It must have something like that.
That'd be hella strong.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's just how they keep the rain off. Oh, shit.
Well, there's a hypothetical material called positronium that is scientists are trying to discover it. Like
Damn
in physics, scientists seem to know. They know when something can exist. They just need to find it.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're trying to find positronium. So they're trying to. What this would be.
Well, that's 90% of physics.
What this positronium material would be is a stable antimatter.
Oh.
Because the way it would work is
Damn it.
the opposite of an electron is a positron. Electrons add negative charge. And if you can find the positive opposite of an electron, you can like store negative antimatter charge inside positive antimatter charge.
Whoa.
And have a stable positronium fuel cell or something.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Maybe this ship has that. I don't know. Or it's something so entirely bizarre, like it's vacuum power. It's powered by the quantum vacuum. dark matter.
NASA seems to have this concept now for a, I guess it's some kind of microwave propulsion thing that only
Yeah.
requires electricity.
The EM drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
see-
haven't looked into it too much.
It existed for a while, but NASA brushed it off because they didn't think it could work in a vacuum.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's on paper, it seemed like it wasn't going to work in a vacuum, but NASA just tested it in a hard vacuum,
oh,
and the EM drive does seem to work.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Till then, they had ion propulsion, which, like, it was really it was basically infinite, but it required matter.
yeah, well, the thing is, like, it's like the physics is there to go light speed, but you just need so much power.
Yeah.
In a photon drive, that means your exhaust velocity is literally the speed of light because you're
Ah,
shooting out light, like you're shooting out photons behind you.
Yeah,
So the exhaust velocity is the speed of light, but it requires like 300 megawatts to make 1 newton of force.
Mhm.
So it's like a balance between where you're getting your power, the mass that the power generator is adding to the vehicle, and the exhaust velocity.
yeah.
Because
I don't know how powerful this is going to be potentially.
every
But
every fuel, every type of fuel, has an upper limit to what you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, a certain amount of fuel isn't going to be able to provide enough thrust to lift itself.
Mhm.
So that means every fuel has a definite upper limit.
yeah,
Like, you can hit an upper limit of liquid fossil fuel, and you can't get any faster. And that's what kills it.
yeah,
So it's like shot as far as doing certain maneuvers.
yeah. So you could say, if you wanted to write clickbait, you could like a clickbait article. You could say that the EM drive is 1/100th of the way to inventing a warp drive. Sort of.
I hate clickbait.
I remember
Because,
reading an article that said that
Yeah.
the Hadron Collider was aiming to communicate with other dimensions.
Oh yeah. The thing, the EM drive stuff is great and all that, but there's people have been working on warp drive for a long time,
Yeah,
and it's a completely different thing than EM drive, and they've been working on it for a long time, and they haven't gotten past the math situation.
Mhm.
Like, they've gotten they can take the math to do it, and they can find inadequacies in the math and make it more efficient, and they've got it efficient, but they just can't actually demonstrate it in a lab yet,
yeah,
and they keep trying to do it, and they can't really get space bending to work yet. But the chief problem with that is the direction you go when you warp, according to the math, is arbitrary.
oh,
There's no way to define where you're going on the X and Y plane.
yeah.
It's
okay.
too hard to actually steer it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Another thing is that with the current warp math, turning it on means you can't turn it off.
Oh,
So there's no way to slow down, and
Yeah.
there's no way to stop, and there's no way to keep everyone inside the warp bubble from dying,
mhm.
because doing so, bending space like this, like causing a flaw in gravity, like as in a black hole, emits radiation. Like, black holes emit radiation, right?
Yeah.
That's because gravity's bent there.
Mhm.
You're doing the same thing when you warp. So they currently have no way of understanding how the people inside the warp bubble, who are inside normal space, but are inside a bent gravitic flaw bulk
Yeah,
ball around them. There's no way that they can keep them from getting pelted with so much gamma radiation that they immediately die.
yeah.
And other things like that.
Well, that's the oof. That's physics. Like it's 99% math, 100% or like 100% theory, a theoretical 0% inventing things. Somebody better ask someone to do invent like hovering racing vehicles like this pretty soon.
Well, there's no reason you can't as long as the track is metal.
Well, yeah.
So you could do it today.
But you still have to power it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You need enough power to get it.
Because remember, we have maglev trains, right?
Yeah.
So it's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
So you just have to have a lot of money and be a very enterprising individual to do it.
And you need to power something this small for the length of the track and allow it to go
Just
1,000 kilometers per hour.
I don't know if we get. See, the thing about this is that you're not dealing with ground friction, so it actually makes it really hard to control.
Yeah.
Like the way he's controlling it here would just be impossible.
Well,
but
yeah, he doesn't even have fins or anything.
remember what it's like in space. You can't actually just turn.
Oh yeah.
You have to actually brake. Like you can't. And this would be
You can't
closer
just
to
press R.
No. Like this would be closer to that, right? Because you're not actually flying because you're not in the air, so you're not flying on the wind. You're floating. So you're only the only thing you have is wind resistance that you're creating relative to the wind. So it's
Oh crap!
Do you ever see people try to control hoverboats? Like those swamp.
Yeah.
You ever see them turn? They can go a certain direction and then do a 360-degree turn and still be going.
Yeah.
Because they're like a spaceship at that point. That's how how it is in space, and it makes it really strange. Because you have to have enough delta V to change your trajectory.
Yeah.
Delta V being change in velocity. The little triangle math symbol means change, and that's also called delta. In case you didn't know. So you fill up your spaceship with delta V. That's your ability to change not to get fast. It's your ability to change your current speed, and that's so important because that's the only way you can turn.
Oh damn it! I thought I got it there. Thought I could cheese it, but
Yeah, I have some sci-fi books here that.
Oh yeah, you got some sci-fi folks here.
That go into to go on at length about their delta V and all this stuff when they're doing things. It's pretty cool. Like I've got a book here where the tactical officers on this spaceship have to deal with a thing called tactical delay, based on the time it takes light to reach their eyes and how far the missile's going.
Yeah.
So they gotta calculate the tactical delay on a warhead that goes,
crazy.
and then they gotta do the math to figure out like where it would be, because when you're seeing it, the light is slow.
Yeah.
And other things like that that get really weird.
Yeah, I feel like to write sci-fi, especially these days, you have to really, really love physics. Like you have to at least have some understanding.
Unless
you
you're
can't
like
just write a story.
Unless you're extremely progressive, and you'll win all the Hugo Awards as long as the book breaks down barriers.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that, how the Hugo Awards are murdered by progressiveness.
Oh my god, they just destroyed it. If your book is not extremely socialist, it can't win. Like it's at that point now where people are taking a perfectly good book, cram in some socialist ideas just to get awarded a Hugo Award.
Whoa, shit. Oh.
Yeah. People think that if you're not a hero of progressive justice, then you're a disgusting 1%er capitalist, you pig. Because you have money, people are poor.
But the real reason is that they're the 99%, because they're not interesting enough. by just writing a good story. I mean, anyone can do that. You gotta break the, gotta stretch the boundaries.
Like the Canadian.
It's the same as art.
Canada has a book reward thing, like a book award show called called Canada Reads.
Uh-oh.
And no kidding, the theme of this year was books to break down boundaries.
Uh-oh.
And it was basically just a progressive circle jerk to see whose book could be the most progressive.
Oh, yeah.
It's just hilarious. I listened to it on the radio.
Why would negative progressiveness make it in?
Well, it could be good. I don't know.
It's like
It could be.
It's like Ayn Rand assuming everyone is shit. Like just realizing that 99.9% of people are garbage. So don't just let them be just forget about them. Don't support them or anything. Just support the strong.
Yeah, well, that's chaos. Greed is good. Listen.
Yeah, greed is good. Like
if you're a company, see the
greed
thing
is
is
a valuable skill.
The thing is, if you're a company and you're only interested in green, you're not going to care about black or white. That's some way someone told it to me before, and I was like, "You're absolutely right." I was like, "If you're banking on the most skill in your worker, and you're not going to care about what they look like, as long as you're worrying about the color green."
Yeah. But in some cases, worrying about black and white gets you more green. Like depending on how important PR is.
In today's socialist economy, when
socialism,
you can't. It's not good enough to have equal opportunity. You have to have equal outcome. You have to make the same money as everyone.
Yeah. These controls are so deep.
They are.
I just love them.
It feels like Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
It's a Monkey Ball engine.
See, the reason this this is fun, but Mario Kart 8 on 200cc kind of bothers me. Because that's as simple as not going as fast as you want to because you'll slip. But this allows you to go as fast as you want to if you can figure out the steering gimmicks. Like holding R and tapping L to bank while you're doing a tight turn.
Yeah, you know what would be really cool? I think if they come up with a future F-Zero game, all cars would have at least 2 rockets on the back. And you have L and R, right? But then you would have shoulder buttons above that. So LR and ZR and ZL.
Yeah.
So ZL and ZR would be banking and strafing and all that. But the top shoulder buttons would cut the power to one of the engines. So you could turn literally on a dime.
Oh,
because your center of mass is at the center of the vehicle.
Yeah,
you had one rocket on one side going, you'd immediately start spinning.
Yeah.
So you could do tactical spins and stuff.
So you could... yeah, and that's how you do this, too. Like...
Yeah, that's how you do that.
right.
And you could also abuse it to turn 90-degree turns. Mm-hmm. That'd be amazing. They should do that. Be completely insane to actually do it if you were driving. And you had to actually, not die. But,
yeah. I think they intentionally make the civilian pods look lame. Like, hey guys, look at my Y.
You know, this game also has a deep vehicle customization metagame too.
Wait, does it?
Yeah, you can buy parts and you can make your own ships.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another thing this game has. It's cool. And you can make some really crazy ships, and people break world records with them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
With custom ships.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Machines, rigs, I don't know what you want to call them. I don't feel comfortable calling them a car.
Yeah. That's pretty much a given these days.
They're a lot closer to a ship than a car.
Yeah. Well, they call them machines.
Yeah.
Because They're not a car. That's for sure. They're not really a plane because they don't fly, but they fly enough.
Yeah, I don't know how Captain Falcon puts up with the G-forces. Like, he must be so pumped full of drugs, intravenously, just to stay awake.
Yeah.
Like, he must have a whole bunch of intravenous wires all hooked up to his body, and he's on so many different drugs, and he's in like an acceleration couch with gel in the back to absorb the force.
Yeah.
It's like encased in gel to deal with it. I don't know what the hell he would. You can only survive like 20 Gs, really, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
That's with all that shit I just mentioned. And you're laying prone. Like, you'd have to be laying down in order to do it.
Yeah.
To make sure all the blood doesn't go to your head. The funny things you gotta do to survive it.
There's that theory that Star Fox gives its pilots robotic legs so that they can just, like, the blood flow in the legs isn't a factor anymore. Hear that?
Yeah, I know. I know that Fox has not fox legs. He has human legs, right?
Yeah,
and you can see that he has metal feet.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty weird.
Well, in Smash Bros. Melee, he has metal legs, like, from the knee down.
Yeah.
But in the later games, he has human legs, but you can't really tell if his feet are metal or not. His feet would probably explode in a ship like that. Like in an assault spaceship.
Yeah, assault. Spaceship combat's really weird. Because remember, if you shoot a missile or a laser, there's a reaction. And the onboard logic of your ship would have to calculate that, and the RCS on the other side would have to fire, balance it out. And when you launch a rocket, you're creating internal heat. So you have to have a heat radiator.
Ah, shit,
And,
come on!
Your heat radiator has to be open to space for it to radiate heat. But your enemy can just shoot your heat radiator.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they shoot your heat radiator, you'll boil from the inside.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
you can't just open a window.
Yeah, you can't just open...
Yeah, man, I got some crazy books on that. It's like submarine combat in space.
Oh, you sound like you read a million books on it.
I did. It's like my favorite genre is hard sci-fi space combat. Like, I read a whole bunch of books on it. Like, how do two ships fight each other and they're like orbiting a small star?
Oh, yeah.
I seen that in Legend of the Galactic Heroes too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of my favorite episodes. They like go down to the star and it's like they're at hell. And
So-
they're falling into the star.
Yeah, what do you think of that anyway? I noticed when I was watching it that they don't pay as much attention to the science aspect as...
To me, it's just enough that it's not breaking my suspension of disbelief.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, for me, it's just enough that I can, because it's all about tone. In the anime Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the tone is extremely serious.
Yeah.
And if you had unrealistic spaceships, it'd be harder to keep the tone straight. It's like the science is just enough to maintain the tone,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's good enough for me.
Well, the
word-
story is about the politics. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really about the
and
sci-fi.
the sci-fi elements help to maintain the tone. Like the fighter ships that they fly around in don't look nothing like a plane.
yeah.
Like they're like these two moving pylons on a sphere, and that's obviously it would not look like a plane. Like, if you want to learn how to not do space, just look at Star Wars. If you go back and watch that, see how silly it is.
Well, Star Wars is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's okay though if the story's good.
That's-
and they used to be.
That's funny though, because the sequels or the prequels were focused on politics.
Yeah, and there's,
But it's the opposite of Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
oh yeah,
It doesn't have the tone to work with that.
yeah. In Star Wars, planes literally line up in space like they do in like World War II.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they bank and stuff in space.
Mhm.
Why do you bank in space? It's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me. Like, and the wings transform, and I just don't even know what they're doing or why.
Yeah, yeah. They have the wings shifting in space as
Yeah.
if that does anything.
Yeah. In Legend of the Galactic Heroes, all the ships are like long battleships with gun embankments everywhere
Mhm.
and tons of RCS ports
Yeah.
because they need to make a lot of strange maneuvers. And a lot of the ships have a forward-facing rocket that they use to brake. And it's amazing that they paid enough attention to think about the fact that they have to brake.
Yeah.
And you see them braking all the time to go different places.
Shit.
Because you remember how hard it is to have station keeping. Because if you're, hey, you have your fleet up in space, and the enemy fleet is coming at you, and you have to both stay stationary in space. So you all have to have RCSs firing off
Yeah.
to keep you at station keeping. It's pretty amazing.
Now, there was one really bizarre moment in Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Well, don't spoil it.
Well, it's not really a spoiler, but that like an army, let's just say Army A uses aims their ships at one's point in space, like the lasers, and then fires them at that point, and then the lasers combine into a bigger laser. That's the only time that ever happens,
Ugh,
and
that sounds horrible.
they just used it to wipe out a bunch of ships in a without having to animate anything. That's what I assume, because normally the combat's really simple and tactical, and it's weird to see them do that just right out of blue and then drop it completely.
That sounds retarded.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to skip that episode. Just try not to see it.
yeah, but I haven't seen anything close to that since then. It really is bizarre. Maybe they wrote themselves into a corner and they had to get rid of a lot of ships really quickly or something. I don't know.
Well, in every battle in Legend of the Galactic Heroes has like 20 million people dead. Like they go in with 100 million people and like 80 million die. Well, we lost 80 million people and like quadrillions of dollars worth of ship, but we're
Every ship is huge and
Yeah.
has
every ship's like a kilometer long.
and has like 100 people in it and a really comfortable living space, and it just thousands of them are exploded
Yeah.
every battle.
Yeah,
And the war has been going on for 200 years or something.
I like how they don't cheap out on like the combat. Like you get to see ships like turn and stuff
Yeah.
in space, and you get
Yeah,
to see.
yeah.
Sometimes you get to see them run into each other. Like they get shot sideways, and the bow of one of them cuts into the other one, and they explode.
Yeah. And I like how they I like how much they hand-to-hand combat is done with axes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but it's
Yeah, I don't
cool.
know. They're like axes or something.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Lots of blood.
Yeah. There was one scene where these two ships had to dock with one another, and you could see one of the ships.
Come on, right there, up every time.
You could see one of the ships firing off its retrograde thruster to slow down. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
firing it like crazy in
Mhm.
order to slow to the same speed as the other guy. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I wish they'd explain how they create gravity on the inside of the ships. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, they don't
That's bugging me.
they don't really have anything for that. But it's probably just something.
It's
Like
just
something
I don't
something
know.
they discovered. Fake gravity. Yeah, but if they didn't have gravity, they couldn't drink wine,
Oh.
and that would ruin 99% of the show.
Well, they could just be living in cylinders.
The whole thing
I
is
don't know.
about drinking wine in space.
I know, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you could have just had a cylinder inside the ship and that they lived in, or something. You could have. I don't know. If you really wanted to, and then have them floating around when they go outside it.
Ah, shit. Okay.
I want to go inside a O'Neill cylinder in space that's spinning around. So I experience one Earth gravity on the edge of it, on the inside edge, and look at somebody on the other side, and then throw a ball to them, and watch it slow down in the middle, and then speed up as it hits him. Like throw a ball, it slows down and then speeds up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you have to really biff it. You got to really throw it hard to overcome it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a common pastime, I think, in Cylinderland.
Throwing things to each other.
Can you give this a try?
Do you think people would have their clotheslines going? They're drying their clothes and they have it up to the ceiling, and they just wheel it down and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're wheeling the clothes, and it's affected by gravity pulling it down, and then all of a sudden the clothes straightens out in the middle.
Oh, I'd enjoy the drag race track that just goes around the
Oh my
the
god!
perimeter of it.
Yeah, because you can just, as long as you keep looking up, you're like always looking at land. You're looking at the track, and you can see where people are.
Uh-huh.
Another thing that's cool about
Oh man, like F-Zero GX should have something like that.
yeah,
Just a loop track that just it's basically Final Destination track form.
another thing that's cool about if you're living inside a spinning cylinder is that there would be very little to no gravity at the center, right? So all you would have to do is build a rideable kite, and then get it to go up to the center, and then you could actually just ride it around.
Yeah.
Like you could at any time you were doing something, someone could be flying overhead slowly on like a magic carpet, because there'd be no gravity there. So you could anyone could just go flying whenever they wanted to. But there'd probably be rules against it or something.
Yeah.
It might be dangerous, but you could do it. It'd be really easy to get around, to go anywhere you want to go to anyone's house. Yeah, the Hideo Kojima video game Police Knots is a adventure game, like a point and click adventure game, and that takes place inside a cylinder. If you're interested in seeing what life is like inside a cylinder.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, literally, if you ever watched... Oh, I better not say that.
I was gonna
I
play.
was going to talk about Interstellar
Yeah.
and the end of it, but I can't.
Oh no, no
So
way.
that'd be spoiling the movie, but yeah.
That like you kind of gave it away anyway.
No.
But
Unhear what I said, because you should watch the
I
movie.
was gonna play Police Knots and then
You should.
I didn't.
It's good.
I just didn't.
I love it.
It's just not like there was a PC version with better graphics. I was waiting for that to get translated, but it never was.
I just played the PS1 version.
Yeah,
It got translated.
that's the only one that has a translation patch. But
I can't believe there
it's just
isn't...
too low resolution.
We've got an official localization of Snatcher, but we didn't get Police Knots. It sucks. I played the both of them. I really wish there was an actual Police Knots, but the way Konami is now, it's probably never going to happen, and they're probably holding it hostage or something from Kojima.
Yeah. Oh, one of these days, they're like when Konami needs some extra money from they lost from losing Kojima. They're gonna localize Police Knots. And it's all gonna be good. Oh, I just heard the disc shift
Hmm.
first time in forever. Wonder what it was loading there. Was it pinging to some Chinese IP?
Was it loading failure on my behalf? Like that?
Yeah.
How come every time I start this, I do good in the first try and I can't do good anymore?
Yeah.
Every time I ever did this, I almost did it on the first try and I
Oh,
can't do
boy.
it again. I gotta stop thinking about what I'm doing.
Mhm. Yeah, just get a feel for it.
I don't like the Blue Falcon. I want to do this with Death Anchor.
Oh yeah. trying to wipe your hand on your leg. In a
I've
little
got
play.
an itchy palm right now.
Oh man. Oh man. Better hope Captain Falcon never gets an itchy palm.
You just die.
Yeah. I'd ask him, but he would just say yes or something.
You just say Falcon. Ah, shit. This game.
It wants you to show show you its moves.
Show-
Show it your moves.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no trick to this. You just gotta get better.
Uh-huh. Dang. That's what always happens to me too.
Well,
Just nicking the edge during a turn.
just the wrong angle,
Yeah.
and you just lose all your speed.
It's weird that there's this type of challenge exists in this game because if you're not going 1,000 kilometers per hour, you're not moving.
Yeah.
So they might as well just say if you stop, you're dead. Or if you bump into a wall, you're dead.
It's just like that movie Fast.
Yeah. Or Fast 2. You know, the one with the whale.
Too fast, too furious.
I like that one where you like, there's this whale with a bomb in it, and if the whale goes under a mile per hour, it explodes. And there are people trapped inside the whale.
What? That sounds too fast and too furious for me.
Yeah, it was like an old man and like a doll, like a sentient doll or something. Those are the characters. Oh, I think it was a Disney movie. Oh, never mind.
Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
I can't believe those Fast and Furious movies are still going.
Yeah.
I gotta watch one just to see what people are watching and what the hell it is.
You're watching people drive cool cars. That's all.
The only one I ever wanted to watch was the second one. I think it's Too Fast, Too Furious, because for the second one they got this idea to cram a bunch of bad CGI into it.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to watch it.
Uh-huh.
I guess it looks terrible, and there's some really horrible dialogue.
Tokyo Drift is also memorable, even though I've never seen any of it. It's just the name. I mean, what is Tokyo Drift?
I don't know.
Why is it so important?